This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
We are so glad you're here for another edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, and happy St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend. Our Elite Eight is almost full. Christian Life earned a spot most recently. We'll see who has the luck of the Irish today, although it takes a little bit more than luck to win our game. Our contestants know that. It takes a lot of smarts. Speaking of smarts, let's give a nice round of applause to the Auburn Knights, shall we? Behind Juan's 8 correct buzz-ins, Auburn beat Pearl City to make it to the second round. They hope to make it to the championship game for the 10th straight year. Brielle is leading the way. She is confident that's going to happen. Introduce us to your starting lineup, Brielle.
To my near left, we have Luke. To my near right, we have Ron. And to my far left, we have Olivia.
Welcome, Auburn Knights, taking on the Stockton Blackhawks. Also, speaking of smarts, look at the brain power up there. Stockton pulled away from Forston in round one. They won 190 to 120. A win today puts the Blackhawks in the Elite Eight for the first time in bowl history. That would be exciting. Who is your captain?
I'm the captain, Landon Warner.
Landon, go ahead. You knew the procedure already. Introduce us to who you brought with you.
To my far left is Samuel Hilly. To my immediate left is Kyle Haas. And to my right is Ethan Stan.
All right, a couple of good-looking teams. Let's see some good-looking questions, shall we? Hands on your buzzers for our Rockford University buzz-in round. That's how we begin the game. The two most important rules: wait for me to call your name before you answer that question, and then say your answer loudly and clearly. Hands on your buzzers. Good luck, contestants, as we get going in this week's Quiz Bowl action. In The Princess Bride, what fencer, played by Brielle?
Inigo Montoya.
Wow, you didn't even need that. You killed my father, prepare to die. Nice work. You get the first points of the game. I apologize for the terrible Inigo Montoya impression. What former U.S. Attorney General was assassinated while running for president in 1968? Kyle.
Kennedy.
Can you be more specific, please?
Robert.
You got it. Robert, Bobby, yes. His brother was assassinated as president. What author described a creature with eyes of flame in the nonsense, Brielle?
Lewis Carroll.
That's right. The nonsense poem is Jabberwocky. Also portrayed the Mad Hatter in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. What formerly enslaved man who fought white farmer Edward Covey wrote the book My Bondage, Luke?
Frederick Douglass.
Yes, My Bondage and My Freedom, and published the newspaper The North Star. Methods called Zahner, Bloser, and Danielian are used to teach what skill, which 21 states mandate be taught in primary schools? Kyle.
Cursive.
That's right, and is a form of writing. That was the last clue there. You didn't need it. What value is the same in all inertial frames in special relativity? Luke?
The speed of light.
You got it. Equals about 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second and cannot be exceeded. In what sport did Australia retain the Ashes in 2023 after securing a 2-2 draw? Luke?
Cricket.
You got it. In a test against England. Those Ashes are actually in an urn that travels back and forth between those two countries. What 1962 children's novel, which begins, "It was a dark and stormy night," and depicts Meg Murray's travels through space, was written by Madeleine L'Engle? Brielle?
A Wrinkle in Time.
You got it. First book in a series of 5. Very good. Which country, whose historical region of Dalmatia is home to Dubrovnik, lies across the... Luke?
Poland.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Stockton. Lies across the Adriatic Sea from Italy and has a capital at Zagreb. Kyle?
Croatia.
You got it. And those are your points. Nice job. What British playwright who wrote of McCann and Goldberg abducting Stanley in The Birthday Party wrote about hitmen Ben and Gus in The Dumb Waiter? Brielle?
Stoppard.
Incorrect. Stockton? You take a shot at it? The playwright was Pinter, Harold Pinter. From 2004 to 2009, the world's tallest skyscraper was a 101-floor building in what Asian city? Brielle?
Abu Dhabi.
Incorrect. Stockton? Sam?
Dubai.
Incorrect. The building was known as Taipei 101 in Taipei. What process with stereolithography and fused deposition modeling types uses CAD software and plastic to make objects with Brielle?
3D printing.
Yes, length, width, and height. Those are the 3 dimensions in 3D. What term in Buddhism refers to the cyclical process of birth? Brielle.
Reincarnation.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Stockton. Birth, death, and reincarnation. Humans, Kyle.
Karma.
Incorrect. Humans seek to escape was the rest of that. I don't know if that would have helped or not, but samsara. What business person who has led philanthropy projects along with his wife Priscilla Chan is the CEO of both Meta Platforms and Brielle?
Zuckerberg.
You got it. Mark Zuckerberg, and Facebook was the other clue there. What author of The Conscience of a Conservative and senator from Arizona was the Republican presidential nominee in Luke?
McCain.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Stockton. In 1964 and used the slogan AUH2O. Kyle.
Nixon.
Incorrect. You could, that's at the end of the round, but if you could have pictured or maybe applied your science to this, AU is the chemical symbol for what? Gold, and H2O is water. We're talking about Senator Barry Goldwater. And that's the time we have for the round. Sorry, I got space talking about Barry Goldwater. So we end with that no answer, but Auburn's off to a strong start. They have 80 points. Stockton has 30. Our next round is volleyball, and we'll have it for you after this break. Auburn is off to a pretty strong start with 80 points in our first round so far today, but Stockton isn't all that far behind with 30. Before we get to volleyball, a very special thank you to our judge today, Einar Forsman, who's the former CEO of the Greater Rockford Growth Partnership. It's kind of appropriate that he would be here celebrating with us on St. Patrick's Day because we just had a conversation about how much golf he has played in Ireland. Einar, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. All right, volleyball round is a conferring round. Work as a team, but the answers have to come from Brielle and Landon, our captains. And because of the flip, Auburn gets the first question. Brielle, are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. What U.S. federal office makes confessions of error, is currently held by Elizabeth Preligar, and argues for the U.S. government before the Supreme Court?
The Justice.
Solicitor General.
Oh, they just want Solicitor General.
You got it. Was that Luke that threw that your way? I'll give Luke credit for that. That's correct. Nice job. Over to Stockton now. This is your first question of the round. What park, which is home to Cadillac Mountain on Mount Desert Island, is a national park in Maine? That is Acadia National Park. Back to Auburn. What language was used to write the 1950s novels Sugar Street and Palace Walk, which are parts of author Naguib Mahfouz's Cairo trilogy?
Egyptian, or is it Farsi?
You can go with Egyptian.
Egyptian.
Buzzer got you. That also was not correct. It's the official language of Egypt, which is Arabic. Back to Stockton. What type of plain is a flat area of the ocean floor usually found 3 to 6 kilometers below sea level, which collectively cover more than 50% of Earth?
Bedrock.
Incorrect. Abyssal plains. We would have taken abyssal as well. Back to Auburn. What seedless vascular plants have woody-stemmed tree varieties, release spores from under their fronds, and germinate as spiral-shaped fiddleheads?
Ferns.
You got it. Those are your points. You're in triple digits. Over to Stockton. In Greek mythology, what food of the Olympian gods was said to confer immortality on those who consumed it?
Ambrosia.
Yes, you knew that quickly too, I felt. Nice. Those are, I believe, your first points of the round. We're back over now to Auburn. What goddess was the sister of the underworld goddess Ereshkigal, was married to Dumuzi, and was a Mesopotamian god of fertility,
Ishtar.
beauty, and love?
Ishtar.
Ishtar is right. I don't know who sent that one here. I'd like to give credit, but it doesn't matter. You got the answer right. Over to Stockton. What author of The Executioner's Song wrote about the fictional island of Anopope in his World War II novel, The Naked and the Dead? This author's also won 2 Pulitzer Prizes. Norman Mailer. Back to Auburn. What law, which named a Congress that met in October 1765, inspired the slogan, "No taxation without representation," by adding fees to printed materials?
Stamp Act. Stamp Act.
Yes, Stamp Act of 1765. That was the Stamp Act Congress. Back to Stockton. What member of the 7 sages of Greece enacted anti-aristocratic reforms and relaxed Draco's law code in an early form of Athenian democracy?
Socrates.
Incorrect. We had to go back to the 7th and 6th centuries BC for that one. Solon. And that's how we end the round with that question there. Auburn's pulled ahead a little bit, 120 points. They're in triple digits. Stockton, again, still not super far behind with 40. And our next round could change scores pretty quickly because it's our lightning round. Lots of points on the line. But before that, you get a chance to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question, and we will be right back with the answer.
New York City is credited with hosting the biggest St. Patrick's Day parade on the planet. Chicago celebrates the day by dyeing what green?
120 to 40 is where our scores sit right now. Those numbers aren't going to change, but some stomachs might be full with pizza and pasta from Lino's. That's what's on the line with our Bergstrom bonus question. You have seen this already at home. Contestants have not. Hands on your buzzers. Let me know if you know the answer to this to win that pizza. New York City is credited with hosting the biggest St. Patrick's Day parade on the planet. Chicago celebrates the day by, Brielle?
Dyeing the Chicago River green.
Wow, nice shotgun answer, and you got it. All we needed was the Chicago River. We've all seen those pictures. Did you know since 1962 it's a secret orange dye that dyes the river bright green? I know, I had the same reaction you did, Brielle. Very good, and congratulations, you win the pizza. We'll take a break and come back with our Nika IBEW lightning round. Lots of points on the line there. All right, the pizza question's out of the way, and now we get back to some points, and there are a lot of them available in our Nika IBEW lightning round. Speaking of points, Auburn has 120 right now. Stockton has 40, and Stockton gets first pick this week in lightning. So Landon, the 3 categories are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, fictional mansions, or BAY.
We'll take BAY.
That seemed like a quick decision for you. We'll see if it pays off. Give these terms and names beginning with the consecutive letters BAY. That's how all the answers will start. 60 seconds on the clock. Remember the pass option, both teams. Remember that strategy. And then, Brielle, you'll have 30 seconds to clean up whatever they don't get to. If you run the category, that's 100 extra points. You'll be in the lead. You ready, Landon? Here's your first one. Remember, you work as a team, but the answers have to come from Landon and Brielle. Here's your first one, Landon. Give these terms and names beginning with the consecutive letters BAY. Slow-moving stream common in Louisiana.
Bayou.
Correct. Blade fixed to the end of a firearm.
Bayonet.
Correct. German football club with 32 Bundesliga titles.
Bayer.
Say that again?
Bayern.
Can you be more specific? I need more information.
John Bayern.
Incorrect. White robot from Big Hero 6.
Baymax.
Correct. Big 12 University in Waco, Texas.
Pass.
Tapestry depicting the Norman conquest of England.
Pass.
Conditional probability theorem named for an English mathematician.
Pass.
1990s TV series starring David Hasselhoff as a lifeguard.
Baywatch.
Correct. Surname of Fox Sports commentator Skip.
Bayless.
Correct. German city that hosts an annual Richard Wagner festival.
Bayern.
Incorrect. And that's all the time we have for that round. So you got 5 of them right. You're up. You boosted yourself to 90. You got 50 points added. Brielle, there is still 5 questions on the board for you, and you only got 30 seconds to get to them. Half the questions, half the time. Are you ready for the first one?
Yes.
Give these terms and names beginning with the consecutive letters BAY. German football club with 32 Bundesliga titles.
Pass.
Big 12 University in Waco, Texas.
Baylor.
That's correct. Tapestry depicting the Norman conquest of England.
Bayeux Tapestry.
Correct. Conditional probability theorem named for an English mathematician.
Baylor Theorem.
Incorrect. German city that hosts an annual Richard Wagner festival.
Beirut.
That is correct. German football club with 32 Bundesliga titles.
Bayustag.
Incorrect. No time, and that's the end of the buzzer, or end of the time that buzzer means. So the 2, so we needed the full name of the soccer club. You gave half of it. It was Bayern Munich is what we needed. You said Bayern, And the other one, the probability theorem for the English mathematician named for Thomas Bayes, Bayes' theorem. It's kind of, the last two there were pretty tough. Okay, so now, Brielle, you've got these two categories left. UNESCO World Heritage Sites or fictional mansions.
Fictional mansions,
Okay.
please.
Given the name of a fictional estate and a character who lives there, name the author who created them. Your answer is going to all be, or answers will all be authors. So 60 seconds on our clock. And then Landon, the same 30-second rule applies to you, and it's worth mentioning or reminding, remember the pass option. Brielle, you ready for the first one?
Yeah.
Given the name of a fictional estate and a character who lives there, name the author who created them. Castle Dracula, home to Count Dracula.
Stoker.
Correct. Wuthering Heights, home to Catherine Earnshaw.
No, Charlotte Bronte.
Incorrect. Pemberley, home to Mr. Darcy.
Austin.
Correct. Saddis House, home to Miss Havisham.
Dickens.
Correct. Tara, home to Scarlett O'Hara.
Pass.
Toad Hall, home of Mr. Toad.
Pass.
Manderley, former home of the deceased Rebecca.
Du Maurier.
Correct. Misselthwaite Manor, where Mary Lennox finds a secret garden.
Pass.
Brideshead, home to Sebastian Flight.
Pass.
Hill House, home to several ghosts.
Jackson.
Correct. Tara, home to Scarlett O'Hara.
Margaret Mitchell.
Correct. Toad Hall, home of Mr. Toad.
The Wind in the Willows.
That's all our time. 6 of them right. That's pretty solid lightning round. So there's 4 left on the board for you, Landon, and the gang. We'll read them again as quickly as possible. You only have 30 seconds to get to all of these. Are you ready for the first one, Landon? Here we go. Given the name of a fictional estate and a character who lives there, name the author who created them. Wuthering Heights, home to Catherine Earnshaw.
Oak.
Incorrect. Toad Hall, home of Mr. Toad.
Spruce.
Incorrect. Misselthwaite Manor, where Mary Lennox finds a secret garden.
Pine.
Incorrect. Brideshead, home to Sebastian Flight.
Mahogany.
Incorrect. So you answered them all. We got a little bit of time on the clock, but there are no extra points for you. Here are those answers. Wuthering Heights, you probably know the mistake in that one, right? It was Emily Bronte, not Charlotte Bronte. Toad Hall, home of Mr. Toad. This is from The Wind in the Willows. Somebody said Wind in the Willows, I think. That's Kenneth Grahame. That's the author. Misselthwaite Manor, where Mary Lennox finds a secret garden, is Frances Hodgson Burnett. That's from The Secret Garden. And then Brideshead, home of Sebastian Flight, from Brideshead Revisited, written by Evelyn Waugh. So now we're done with our lightning round. Auburn still with a commanding lead, 120 points ahead of Stockton, 210 to 90. Our Mercy Hell final challenge is after this break. We'll see how the game ends up in just a few minutes. One more round to play. Whoever ends up on top is headed to the Elite Eight. Will it be Auburn or Stockton? Who knows? We'll find out in just a few minutes. Hands on your buzzers, contestants. This Mercy Health Final Challenge has the same rules as round one, except all the questions are worth 20 points instead of 10 points. Remember to wait for me to call your name before you answer. Say your answer loudly and clearly. Grab those buzzers. Here we go. Good luck. What ruler, during whose reign Lord Melbourne served as Prime Minister, married Prince Albert and was Britain's queen for most of the, Luke?
Victoria.
That's right, most of the 19th century. There's a whole era named after her. Auburn gets the first points of the round. Maseru is the capital of what country, Kyle?
Lesotho.
That is right, which is completely surrounded by South Africa. That was fast. What 2023 event, hampered by rain in Nevada's Black Rock Desert and climate protesters, is an annual festival during which a large effigy is set on fire? Brielle.
Burning Man.
That's right. Rockford comedian Natasha Leggero has a great bit about Burning Man. What 1887 experiment which used an interferometer floating in mercury? Brielle.
Michelson-Morley.
You got it. You didn't even need the rest of the clues there. We will move on. What poet wrote about the cheerful singing of an Italian silkwinder in Pippa Passes and described another Italian woman in his poem, My Last Duchess? Luke.
Browning.
You got it. Married to another famous poet, Elizabeth Barrett. What organic compound whose methyl derivative is toluene is often drawn as a hexagon with a circle inside? Kyle.
Hexane.
Incorrect. I will finish for Auburn. And has the molecular formula C6H6. Brielle.
Benzene.
Benzene is correct. What Midwestern city, served by a streetcar system known as the Hop, is on the shore of Lake Michigan and is... Kyle.
Chicago.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Auburn. And is the most populous city in Wisconsin? Brielle.
Madison.
Incorrect. Milwaukee. What painting whose subject's name is carved into a wooden block shows a murdered French revolutionary? Brielle.
Death of Marat.
Death of Marat is correct. What class of particles, which is named after an Indian physicist, is characterized by integer values of spin? Juan.
Bosons.
Bosons is right, named after Satyendra Nath Bose. What six-letter noun that refers to people who give their opinions on television or other media comes from a Sanskrit word for scholar? Juan.
Pundit.
That's right. That Sanskrit word is pandita. What calculus operation which can be done by parts or using Brielle?
Integration.
Integration is right, or using substitution, the inverse of differentiation. What TV show revealed that Liz Keene was related to the real Raymond Reddington and starred James Spader? Kyle.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Auburn. James Spader as a criminal who creates the title inventory. Juan.
Blacklist.
Blacklist is right. Spoiler alert. The buzzer means we're out of time. That gets you just above the 400 mark with 410. You are moving on to the Elite Eight. Congratulations, Auburn. Nice job. Find yourself in a familiar position. Stockton, you didn't win, but you played a fantastic game. Of course, you should be really proud of yourselves. There are a lot of people who are proud of how you performed, and it's just great having you be here play the game. How many of you are seniors? None of you. Okay, all of you coming back next year, right? I will take that as a commitment. All right, we'll find out who Auburn plays next week when Morrison takes on Belvedere. We'll see you then.